Now, I was sort of browsing the internet, so I made a channel called Karen the Person, and this is sort of a channel about just skits and different ideas, but they use sort of Ghostface from Scream as sort of their avatar, but every time they do a skit, they use a sort of well-known internet sort of icon to go back and forth. But one of them actually from Black Hat. Yeah, I was sort of surprised on that specific video, and I started watching it, and also realizing something super important is how villainous is sort of was born in the internet, or the internet created villainous. And that's sort of the question, because villainous itself, the whole show, the whole idea, is sort of reflection of the internet. What I mean is, almost every single idea, or good, you could say 50% of it, it was inspired by in the lore, or sort of myth, a legend, or sort of event happening. They sort of kind of reference it in villainy. They actually twist it a way that actually makes sense in villainous show. Like one of the big examples, Mesite herself, she is sort of a character kind of reflecting the internet. For example, there is always that one female or male superstar online who is basically gorgeous, abuses that power, abuses everything. They actually get caught. They admit no fault. It's just sort of accidental. But everything Missy does reflect that what happened in the internet, or someone who is an influencer. But not just her, many little things like that reflects Black Hat. And that's the thing kind of catch me by surprise, because it is 100% true, especially how the internet starting to take more stuff, at least a little by little, from villainous and regurgitate back to it. And just sort of a very interesting sort of relationship that I want to basically dive even more talking about it. But before I do, my name is Rachel. I'd like to talk about animation, not just animation to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. If you like how it's going, like the help on my channel, pull like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People pull like, comment, and share. And also, if you like villainous, you wanted more content, I have a playlist of every single video I made specifically about villainous. If not, there are other options. I usually just talk about animation. But all of that, let's start with the conversation of how the internet created villainous. Let me explain. Now, I'm trying to really think what else another properties who does the same thing as villainous. In a way, there isn't. There maybe one or two you can say kinda like the Sonic fandom, but the Sonic fandom, or the Sega, who owns Sonic, they do not take stuff from the internet. They just create new lore or inspired by different lore, and that's it. They never actually do anything interesting. Even that, there are other IP who actually are created by the internet, like Hell the Boss, or even that been other web series. It been really good, but never really inspired by the internet. The only one closer to it is probably Gravity Falls. Even that, it's just very little. But except the only one is villainous itself. Why is that? You know, like the thing is because it sort of took so many ideas, it became a sort of own identity. Because even the show kind of technically is on hiatus. They can't really do anything because of sort of situation about David Zaslav holding the rest of the show. They're still allowed to basically pump up lore, interesting tweaks here or there, that is just so reflection of the internet. I think another good example, probably like Creepy Charlie blog. If you don't know Creepy Charlie, or you forgot who's Creepy Charlie, that she is sort of a character who has a blog, talk about situations or real strange things happening in the universe of villainous, because she's fascinating. But every single story she put in her blog online, that is sort of a myth, a legend, did happen, but also kind of inspired by a myth in the internet. And that is just sort of interesting because they always connect something to something else in villainous. Like everything's sort of connected to maybe Black Cat or the organization. It's just a reflection how the main character of the blog doesn't see it. We as the fans do, but at the same time, every time she talks about something very specific, like what happened to the penguins, there is a lore about the penguins, but the original lore of basically Teletubbies who got basically trapped or tortured by a channel or something like that, and they took that lore and put it in Villainous Shore, and that is just interesting because like other shows never done that. If they do, it's just a special, it get forgotten. But no, Villainous, every single little plot is sort of important, but yet aspired by the internet. And I find it more fascinating every time years go on, someone would take something from Villainous and make a skit or make something and just sort of wink it or not, you know what it is. Even that you barely heard was Villainous, you barely know who is Miss Seed, Black Cat, Demencia, or Dr. Flood. You know these main four characters, and somebody would make a skit or something about them that you instantly recognize. You know them. Even not seeing the show, or not even seeing the lore, you know about it. Even that, I have to remind you, they don't really have only 5 episodes, and that's it. At least for now on this recording. But that's just kind of fascinating because if the show actually got canceled and Alan stopped making Villainous in general, the lore, everything else, people will still make memes or something about the characters. It's almost, if the show got canceled, Villainous, it still goes on a very unique, weird, strange way that can never be forgotten. And I think it's because it was raised by the internet. They actually made it. Of course, Alan was inspired different things about Villainous, but that's something you actually see this online. Not all the time, but you see that. But the only thing is, it's the only show, only IP who has that leverage. Every other show, every other IP, they don't. They have to rely on the fans making us stuff on the moment. But Black Hat or the villainous, the whole concept, in other words, doesn't. People are aware of it if they don't know, but they're willing to do something with it, even though they're not fans. And that just so interesting. I think one of the big examples how one of the lore not known best characters, Parasite, she has sort of a meme about her father. In the show or the lore never show her father's face, but people just sort of pretend, oh yeah, she's a yokai, her dad is a yokai, that we don't know what she looks like, but that's what people choose to interpret it as sort of a meme in the community. Once again, just reinventing something brand new for the lore by the fans who actually understand how the internet works. And that's just sort of interesting because they just build weird stuff left and right, just make it a very fun ride. And I think this is the reason why the internet, this is why Villainous itself would never be forgotten, because how very stuck into pop culture internet it really was, that you can easily turn one section of the line, you maybe find a sort of piece of the thing there. And that's sort of the shocking thing, because not a lot of IPs have that sort of legacy, doesn't have that sort of pristine to be always be remembered. If somehow they forgot who's created or everything was lost and burned, there is so much stuff left over online, how the fan lore, memes, or just general random people just mix something up on the spot. It always be there. It just evolves to be something else. I like to think that Villainous itself is almost like a parasite, a very interesting, almost positive or really strange thing they just created by the internet for the internet. And that's just surprising because the things I explained, at least the 2 3 things that just showed you or talked about it, it's just pieces of it. There are actually more stuff that you need to be hardcore or obsessive fan to know about or not really know about, because you could go online just changing different places to find something entertain you, and out of nowhere Black Cat reappears. It's almost been that myth allures Black Cat always watching, the one who barely dominate the world but you not yet realize. It sounds like, yeah, I'm making up stuff, but in a way it's kind of true. But once again, it only works because it was sort of raised by the internet, created by the internet. Even that Alan, the creator of villainous, he's a dinosaur. That's his own words. That he doesn't really use the computer that much, only for work, and that's it. And that's just sort of interesting. Like he tries, but someone like him who created like villainous, you wondering that the creator was Alan or the internet itself, or both, kind of obvious. But in the very end, it's just sort of interesting. I don't know you, what you think about this. Do you believe that villainous is created by the internet or not? Even that, it has a very unique sort of relationship by the internet that you cannot really deny, because you will later on see more stuff like this in the near future after the 3 spin-offs come out. You're wondering, did it flex it, more, becoming more iconic, more memeable? Tell me down below, let me know. I honestly got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.